time to trust in me, and you will find. And time goes by so naturally while you receive infinity.
Thanks for coming in. This is Shauna Lee here. I'm in for the energy report for the spring season. So I'm going to do this a little differently. I'm going to be using cards as per usual, but my format's going to be a little different. So what I'm going to do first off is go off channeled energies and whatnot, and then we'll get into the reading, and then I'll kind of sum it up by backing out of the cards and going into channeled information again. So again, thanks for coming in. This energy reading has been a lot in the making here. Everybody's living proof of what's going on energetically. A lot of ups and downs here. So let's get into the cards. The Isis deck, the Conscience Spirit deck, ending with the TLC deck. So a lot of usuals, but there's one or two here that are a little different. Okay, so I will say this, that when I've been going in, to communicate, commune with the energies, if you will, a lot of what they've been trying to express to me is, I wouldn't say fractured. I want to say fractured, but that's not the right word. It's a lot of ups and downs and ups and downs. If you're looking at it like a graph or like a hot monitor, it's going up and completely down, up and completely down. What they kept showing me was the bonus PNG file that I have for putting on the bonus readings for every month. They're showing me that. They said that up and down and all over. They said that's what the energy is doing right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I can relate to this highly. So basically, in the field, like my last energy report here, if you haven't seen it, go back and listen to it. If only for reference, right? When the swelling of the wave happens, what happens after that? It has to crash, right? So the way they were explaining it to me is you'll hear me saying positive and negative poles. What that means is a positive or a negative person. So ultimately, if you're spouting out positive or negative energy, and there's a lot of people that are negative on the inside, but they kind of quiet on the outside, it'll go by your inner resonance, okay? And so what's going on there is, so when you look at a positive or negative pole, let's go to the positive, right? So if you're a positive person, you're positive on the inside, you're spreading positive on the outside, you're attracting positive outside of yourself, and there may be they're going, not a lot of people are in congruence, which means we're positive on the inside, positive on the outside, and positive is coming to us. If we're getting negativity come at us, that means we are a negative pole. So we have to clean that up, that vibrational frequency. And that takes a lot of inner work. So those people that are going like, I'm not negative, but I got a lot of shit around me. Guess what? You're negative. Somewhere you're negative and you're pulling it in. And again, you may have to create more boundaries in your life, but nonetheless. So if we go from that pole, whether you're negative or positive, really what it's going to come down to is an increase of frequency. So if you're on the negative pole, there's going to be an increase of negativity in your life in order for you to deal with that. And if you're reveling in it, then you will revel at an increased rate. And if you're in a positive pole, you will increase at a positive vibration. What they're showing me is like the difference between happiness and bliss. When we get happy, then we get bliss, but we can't stay there for extended periods of time. So we have to come back down, right? And sometimes we crash lower because we felt it higher. This is what we're doing here. And in a sense, we're trying to get a baseline here. I'm watching too much of the behavior panel. We're trying to get a baseline as to where we can sit naturally, function naturally, attract those things that are of our pole nature, like our positive pole nature. This is what we're trying to teach you to do, is what they're saying. We're trying to teach you that your inner frequency matters, that your inner frequency and your outer frequency have to match. If there is incongruence there, which means you're lying to yourself and others, ultimately that's what it's about. Then you're going to get scrambling of the energies. You're going to get scrambled eggs in your face until you clean that up, which means I know for me what it was is negative thought patterns. So, so I'm going outward in positivity and I'm cleaning, I'm stopping that from going outward, but internally I wasn't stopping it to going to my brain. I was clouded up with negative thoughts because, well, I'm not hurting anybody but myself, right? So I was still continuing to think negative thoughts. And there's still the odd time that comes in that you have to clean that up because it's an automatic, like it's like an automated system that just kind of reboots itself every once in a while. But if you are conscious and aware of the mind states, your mental mind states that you are truly in, and not kind of a mumbler and you go through life kicking cans and stuff, if you can clean that up, that's where you want to be. That's where you want to that's where you'll get the highest form of manifestations. That's where you will get the highest form of growth because we are cleared up in our field, this kind of thing. So yeah, I'm just going to leave, put that graphic on there, the bonus graphic, right? Because it's all ways and they're going, it's up and down, it's sideways. We won't be able to go as far down as we used to go, meaning down in the dumps, the blues, depression, these kind of states. We will not be able to reach these states to such degrees as we have in the past. Now, if we do, it will not be for very long before we're busting out of there. So, and that's the thing. It will feel so uncomfortable. We cannot and do not want to come out of that, especially once we start springing up higher into the lighter energy. There's no reason to go back down. Familiarity won't even feel nice to be in a familiar surrounding when it's in a negative state that's below your frequency zone. Because your core frequency on the earth, like I said, anybody that's got their feet planted on this God's green earth is going to rise their frequency. They have no choice. I mean, they're showing me. This is my sense of humor. They're showing me people jumping off the earth like they don't, ouch, I don't want to get hit by the high vibration. But the thing is, it's for your highest good, right? It's like the child that's going to walk on rocks instead of walking on the grass. It's going to hurt, but you can do it, but it's going to hurt. So let's walk on the grass where it's nice and cool and there's no jagged edges, all this stuff. So anyway, so no matter how much you jump out of it, you really are, it's inevitable. You can't avoid it no matter how hard you try. And apparently there's some people trying to get out of that. So anyway, that's the basis of what they've tried to explain to me. And moreover, is really the fluxes are going to be high highs, low lows, and we will not be able to get grounded, really. I mean, there's grounding in the highs and lows, and there's grounding in being centered. We're going to have to work a little harder to be grounded overall, but we really are going to find it challenging to be grounded, period. Especially those people that are of the higher vibrational fields, because they don't want to, their soul is not going to want to ground. It's going to want to go up and up and up and up and up. If this makes you feel good, I'm going to go there, right? On the light side. So this is, the thing, there's an addictive nature to it. But in order to save your soul from crashing, they have to bring you back down. But we go back down to the third stair instead of the basement. Again, we don't go as far down. We keep coming up one stair at a time. We go down, but we're still a stair higher than we were before. So this is all in the flow of it. Now we're going to get into the cards here. and break it all down into little bits and see what happens. So a little bit different. So the first Isis card we get for everybody, this is a general reading for everybody that is within earshot. So the first card from the Isis deck, the Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. Well, don't you know? But that's a constant, like you say, oh yeah, we're awakening this month, but really we're always in that flow of things. There's the Eye of Horus and the Eye of Ra. One of them is feminine, one is masculine. So I'm getting a feminine energy here, even though, and the sense they're giving me is that I may be talking to the feminines here more than the masculines at this time because of their perceptive states. Now, the men may not be perceiving challenging vibrational frequencies in the same way that the feminines are. Yeah, the overall energy frequency here is increase. The perception, we're going to turn up the volume. We're going to get into your head. We're going to get into your fields. Everything is going to be, it's going to be like someone else is stepping into your spiritual soul and cranking things up. This is really what it's going to be like. And in fact, some of us will actually be communing with the energies on the physical plane. Meaning, okay, we went through this already. Now, the thing is here, those people that are doing the same things that I'm doing, sending out messages, reading frequencies and trying to get everybody to understand what is going on here. Now, those people that are doing that already in the flow, it will be no surprise that you go in and who your guides are, what's going on up in there. You will be quite solid and grounded in your field with your guides, those that drive you, those you listen to. This is all solid, okay? For those people, they will actually be communing with angelic forms, which means they will be allowing the angelic forms to come in and purify. In a sense, okay, this will grip them. Right? When you talk about a possession, but on the negative plane, that would be the devil. He's possessed, right? Well, think of it on the positive plane. It's the same thing, only it is more of an integrative where we can't really overlook things too highly. So think of the angelic plane coming down and just kind of, sitting right on your lap there for a good while and driving the show for you, helping you, guiding you. Then, if you're like, okay, we're going to go. I don't like diving into these areas too much because we're really moving out of this area. But again, for contrast, when you have people that are possessed, right, there's a big fear, there's a big, huge energy around that word, the way it is used nowadays in the spiritual realm. When you're possessed is a bad thing, you're taking over, or you're letting something take over you. And believe it or not, when you're doing this on the wrong side of the tracks, you do have an agreement there. You, somewhere in your body, in your mind, in your soul, you've agreed to take this on. Now, people may not believe that, but that is what they're telling me. There's somewhere down deep in there, there's an agreement, and so you have to break that agreement. That is the first thing. Now, secondly, on the positive side, it's the same thing. We are rising to light, and light is coming to meet us, and now we are letting that in even further. So this is also the part of the up and down, right? Because we really have to purge all those negative pieces of us. And there will be a marked few, right? A marked few. And they will be in pivotal places in history as well. This will become paramount on the light and dark side. And remember, they both come from the same source. It's hard to take sometimes, but there has to be a positive and negative coming from the highest high to challenge the growth factor here. And this is what is going on at this time. And so it's no wonder the earth is in the shape it's in, because the highest high is shooting down energies. We're all growing at an accelerated rate. And because of this, we're all fighting in our lanes. But we need to have those fighting tools in line so that the right side can win. Now, it doesn't mean that's right, that there will be no negative. There will be negative, but it will be different. How do you explain? I don't even understand it myself, frankly. They say that to me, and I don't quite understand it. It's a little bit down the road, so I won't get into it. But anyway, first card, Awakening Divine Perception. I feel like for the feminines, they are feeling very protected. I feel like the masculines are still fighting forces outside of them and not having faith in their, well, some of them, right? Some of them. There's more that need training wheels to come off here. But the masculines are having a hard time letting others take control, whether it's the spiritual side of things or not. It's hard for the masculines to give up control to universal energies and just say, yeah, just take over. They're having a hard time doing that. The feminines, I think they've been in this energy for a little bit, and even though they are sheepish about it as well, they are releasing to the higher power. Okay, so that's just the first card. Let's get on with things here. Next card. So we got a row of 3 again. This is kind of past, could be past, present, and future energies. Even the way that I laid the cards out, they said we want 2 rows of 3 and a triangle at the bottom. And that's a reverse triangle. So in my mind of what I know already, that is feminine energy. And it is the compassion and the acceptance and the caring and helping others. This is all stuff that we're moving into. And it will become, like, if you go, ooh, that's stuff I don't know how to deal with, you're going to learn. You're going to have to learn, or you'll be fighting it. Okay, so the second card that we have here for the spiritual energies, Temple of Lapis Lazuli, the goddess of ancient skies, and I'm getting helpers, your spirit guides. It starts with your higher self, and then it goes up from there. Your higher self is always connected to you. It is the version of you that comes from heaven that does not lose anything. It does not have to gain lessons. It's that part that stays in the big pool of things. God, Christ consciousness, it stays up there. That is your higher power. So in a sense, you never ever can release from that, even when you pass on. Nothing changes there. It's just either we awaken to it or we don't. Then there's the above, right? The angels that you come in, you ask, you pray for help, they come. Now, another thing I'm getting highly adjusted to at this time is there's a lot of angels coming in. And again, when I was I was on my building path here, I did not believe in the angelic realm. I just didn't. I didn't think there's things flying around up there. I just didn't. But I went into, I started out my curiosity levels in the physical realm, started out in remote viewing, and then I realized some things from that, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I did research, and then I found out from people, you know, in the field, other remote viewers, and then I was like, oh, would you look at that? This guy's got a reputation, he's a military, all this stuff, and they're talking about angels? What the? So I had to face that. I had to accept that. And now it's just, it's accepted, right? I do feel, I still have a little bit of an itch, like, okay, angels, yeah. But that's my problem, because they are out there and they are coming in droves. And I need, they're saying we need to explain how the pool of consciousness works. Now, there may be, because what they're, what? Oh, man. Yeah, they catch me in times when I'm unaware. When I'm just mindless, they'll come in and then they'll start spouting off these answers to me when I'm like washing my hands, getting ready for supper. And then I'm just sitting there washing my hands a little longer. Oh, yeah, okay. I'll get the download and carry on. One of the downloads I got was about the energies of the angelic realm. Now, give me a moment to gather up the resources here. There's certain things that you can tap into consciously, and there's certain things that will come upon you whether you have an interest or want to know about it or not. And that big pool of like everything that you call God, Christ conscious, whatever, all the up there, heaven. How do I explain? They explain it to me energetically, not verbally. So it's hard to express. But what they were saying to me is they were showing me people all over the world saying, oh, Archangel Michael's coming to see me, Archangel, whatever. And it's like, and they're going, people are not accepting it because they're getting jealous. Like, he went over there. No, he's with me. How can he be with her and with me? He can. And he can be omnipresent. He can be everywhere all at once. Why? Because he's in the pool. They are in the pool. There's tons of energies. What do you want to call them? Spirits. There's no words. But there's the big pool that they come from. That would be like what I would call like, I don't know, the Almighty, the, all-seeing, right? Now, just because he's going over here and doing something over here at such and such a time doesn't mean he can't be doing something over there at the same exact time and doing something different. So that's that timeline stuff, right? That's that everywhere and all things can be affected and in different ways. So people are using their earth logic, which again is going to be in transition for the next 10 to 15 years, frankly. But before we get there, we have to understand that there's omnipresence here. They keep using that word, and I frankly got to look it up. But the sense that I get of it already is that we can be everywhere all at once to everyone and not be hindered in any way. Because there's like, well, you can't have, because, this hit me. I'm sorry, this is going to be a long reading. Because I have to explain things from my past. Like when I was younger, there's these fascinations with Elvis dying and Marilyn Monroe and whatnot. And I was always wondering, because I seen there's this one lady come out in the news, and she was quite prominent, saying she was the reincarnation of Marilyn Monroe. And then, there's another one saying, well, I'm the reincarnation. And they really, truly feel it. And I could sense that they feel it, like they're doing. I said, what is this? They can't have two Marilyns. Like, it can't happen. And again, I never got that answer right away. But down the road, I went into and I read, Jim Morrison, Marilyn Monroe story. I got into those, and that's when they let me know. They're going, yes, we can, because we are from the pool of God, if you will. We just take a drop and put it down there, but the pool is still there. We get tons of essence waves that we can put into people to inspire them. A little note or a huge dump. And maybe one felt like they were a huge dump of Marilyn, whole cup of it. And one maybe thought they were a little dropper, right? So, and then some may be inspired by her and not even care about her life path, but just live in the way that her essence would have lived. And they carry that forward. This happens all the time. And I've actually seen it within my own family. They were telling me there's an essence of this person in that one and that. And I'm going, yeah, how do I explain that? Because they're not going to get it. And you just know certain people aren't going to get it. They're going to go, well, because it's something to say, my cousin's a reincarnation of my, brother or whatever, right? Someone that passed over too early or whatever, and they come up in the family. And this does happen quite often. They'll stay in the same soul family. And as long as there's an agreement to do that, that's what they said. And then, that's easy to take because it's one soul that goes up, one soul that comes down. But when you get essence or fragments of souls that can be put here and there, then it's harder to accept, right? And then we're talking about timelines and differing time. Yeah, it's all in there. So anyway, I'm getting too convoluted here. But basically what I'm getting here from this card, the Goddess of the Ancient Skies, is I'm getting all of your guided people They are all at attention here. And not only that, they're flying everywhere, doing things and being of service to you whenever you need them. And can they be with John, Jake, Jimmy, and Fred? Yes, they can be with Ollie at the same time doing different things. Yes, they can. So get that out of your head and quit fighting with that energy that, well, if they get it, I can't get it. It's not like that. Okay, just think omnipresence. And I'll look that up. I'm done with the reading. But it's everywhere all at once. And really what they want me to accentuate is the fact that it doesn't lose any potency, like if it's putting a rose petal in a bathtub, you got the essence is there. It's the complete essence is there. You don't lose any of that smell or that whatever it is. So really what I get here is the camaraderie from the skies. That's what I'm getting. We are all here to help you. All you have to do is say when. Please, prayer, meditation even, even the thought forms, just, I think I need help. Boom, there they are. Okay, what do we need help with? Explain what you need help with, be specific, and we'll go from there. We'll start working. But they cannot work. They cannot change things for you unless you ask and make an effort to do so. So there's the focus on that. So we start out with the Eye of Horus, again, protection. The feminines, they want me to separate. The feminines, their protection factor is vibrating. It's just in the beginning, the Fool steps out. This is where they are. The masculines, they're still fighting a war that is external. They haven't quite, they're not quite trusting the internal frequencies yet to turn inward and trust that things will be taken care of. They're still in that aggressive mode. So no matter what, whether you're aggressive or not, you can still ask for help spiritually. You can still gain it spiritually and you will get it. And we will help you move forward more quickly and efficiently. So that is what I get here from the Temple of Lapis Lazuli. Goddess of the ancient skies, every goddess, every energy, every spiritual force that you have that is attached to you or not attached to you, you can bring them in. You can ask for help and they will be there to guide you. This is high alert is what they said. Everyone's on high alert up there. So anytime they'll be hyper vigilant and they will be like, not that they can't be speedy, but the way they're showing me is we will be there in a, New York minute. Okay. So the third Isis card that we get here is the Lunar Queen. I knew she'd come out. the Lady of Illusion, if you will. She of the Celestial Crescent. So again, there is still darkness abound. There are still things we need to figure out on the 3D Earth and off it. More so off it. But on the 3D Earth, we are still under illusion. And I'm not going to get into the whole power play there. But the bottom line is we really have to go inward, gain our inner voice, and trust that our prayers will be answered. Now, again, I know there's some people going like, oh, give me a break, sit and do nothing. But it's not like that. If you are afflicted, you have ways that you can go about doing things. You will be more highly guided than no other time than now to do so. So those people, yes, I'm not trying to discourage those people that are feeling driven from the core of who they are. That too. And that may be on the masculine plane, may not be specifically masculines either. Maybe feminines taking charge of their life in a masculine format kind of way and going in those forms. In those ways and making action, you will be filled. You'll be filled with inspiration so much so you just will not resist it, because on every level it will line up with what you need. So anyway, the Lunar Queen, she of the Celestial Crescent. There are still illusions here, and there will be more to come in the future. Though this is the crackling. So if we're blowing up the balloon, right? My last reading was the swelling of the wave. It's like getting bigger. You're starting to hear that creak and crack. Like the stress point is being reached. This is where we're at. Well, this is beyond where we're at. Where we're at now is the pop. after the pop. Things are popping all over the place, and you'll see in the news things are erupting that really weren't before, and they're going to be so at an accelerated rate. And again, getting away with things we couldn't get away with before. We're getting the justice is coming down across the board. It's sweeping in ways that we almost won't be able to comprehend, and it will be sweeping in ways that people will want to cover up. But make no mistake, it is still going on. Even though we don't see it, doesn't mean that there's not justice being formed. And even though we don't see it, it doesn't mean there's not bad things going on. So there's a fine dance between illusion and reality here that we're trying to, again, get to the baseline. But we got to go way up and way down in order to know where the central area is. And this is what's going on now. We're getting flown way up in our happy zone, way down in our depressive zone. And what feels right and just, this is what we're doing. So the Lunar Queen, she's all that is uncovered. But again, she's the night, but after the night always follows the day and things get illuminated. So the night is still there for the devils to go out and do their things, but the day comes and we go and take them away and put them behind bars. This is all going to happen. Okay, next row here. That was the Isis cards. Oh, Eye of Horus, Lapis Lazuli, and the Lunar Queen. So no matter what, right down the center, this is the point now that I'm, immediately you're getting your hands on this reading. You're connecting with your guided selves, your angelic realms, all of these things. Whether you are interested in that and exploring that or not, these are coming to commune with you to embrace your forms, if you will. They gave me that word, embrace your form, in order to encompass the light more heavily, to go outward in it, to be more inspired. For those people that are kind of deer in headlights, they might be happening to those that agree on the soul level for this as well. Alrighty, next row. Yeah, these are getting deeper. So we got the conscious spirit cards, and the first on top of the Eye of Horus, again, our masculine and feminine are still split in the energies of how they deal with their spiritual selves, but nonetheless, we're going forward no matter. On top of that energy, we have the air elemental. 18. Talking about, I embrace the element of air, and I'm open to all knowledge and wisdom. Yes. Okay. So they're going, this, again, a lot coming from above. So that's our instinct, our inner, some people don't believe in an afterlife or anything. They just believe in the physical. But there's still stuff going to be filtering through their brains, which they're going to think of as their own wisdom. They don't care. We don't care what you think of it. We just want you to follow it. They're going, we don't care if you think it's God, whatever, as long as you follow that direction. And again, I'm talking to people here who know right from wrong. Okay? This is, we know right from wrong here. So open to knowledge and wisdom. This is what's coming down so that the masculines can go out and take action in the ways that are wise and are of growth. And the feminines can also take in that information and be willing to accept things from their wisdom and knowledge as well. So the air elemental is very much pushing the energy at this time on top of there. So now when we get into the Lapis Lazuli energy, the conscious spirit energy we get there is the present. And what do you know? It's in the present part of my reading. So being in the now, and look at them hunching down and looking at a mouse. And what that tells me is you connect to your earth. Connect to people on the earth. Connect to your realms. Talk to your neighbors, And they were pushing that energy a little bit in the last reading, but it's even more so important now because that's what'll break the illusion. Okay, 23 is the present. The number is 5. I fully experience every moment of my life by living in the present. And the earth energy, right? The element of earth is here, highly. And it's almost like this is they're saying an earth sprint. I don't know, spirit? No, sprint. So this is what they're calling this little animal here looking at a mouse. A sprint. I'm going to have to look that up, see if it exists, or if that's just a name that came out of the ethers. Now, they're saying here, when she's connecting, they're showing me energy going back and forth. The mouse, even though he's tiny and little, he can give a lot of frequency information guidance to that sprint. And the sprint can give information back from the higher realms, because the sense is this mouse is of the earthly realm and this sprint is of the higher, fairy realms, that kind of thing. So it's up and away from where the mouse can even get to. But they can exchange information, you see, and this is exactly, right? This is what they're doing. And for those that are in communion with the energies and highly allowing the light to shine through them, they will make the most progress. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that I got all the feedback right there. They will make the most progress if they connect to their physical and their spiritual realms. This is going to drive it. So this makes logic sense, but here's a picture that you can use for your brain to accept. Because even though they may not speak the same language, like this fairy may be, blah, 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 and then the mouse may be, squeak, squeak, like they're not speaking. But there's energy flow. I can give energy to you, and I can respect you, and all of that. And so back to that sprint that they call. Yeah, okay. It's getting in a goofy mood. So that's on the energetic realm. So a lot of that is going to be coming through. So a lot of people can be inspired to give out messages from the fairies, from the whatever they believe in. That it's going to come in whatever form that they can process, right? And even if you can't process, it's going to come through in that way. Because, talking about angels and stuff, where I really got grounded in the existence of them when I was working with animals, doing energy work. I have how do you say, when people know you do energy work, they'll ask you to, even though you have animals that are coming to the end of their life, right? And for whatever, they're guided, right? Well, Shauna knows something about, so let's go to her and see if she can help my dog because, he's coming to the end of his life and he might be in pain. Can you take away the pain? Da, da, da. So I go in and I do sessions and it's amazing what comes out. We have angels surrounding them even before I get there, before anybody, and there's people praying for them even when you don't realize it, da, da, da. So there's a lot going on in that world. Even when that person on the earth says, can you help? It's like there's help going on. Not to relax on our laurels with that, but sometimes I'm surprised at how much stuff is going on before I'm even asked to get in there because, it's not unseen. We think it's unseen, but it's not. Okay. So as we go on to the Lunar Queen, again, those that are unseen, good segue. The conscious spirit card we get is Day's End, Rest. And this is interesting. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Okay. 40 is the number. At day's end, rest. I find peace in nature and rest my body and mind in order to connect to spirit. So as we go through these states, again, the crux of up and down, we're going to be in bliss while we're connected to our angelic selves, angelic realms, angelic energy. We're going to be in bliss, but it's, we can't stay there forever. And it's not good, and they will come and go. And there's reasons for that, because we can't carry that state for very long without needing a break from it. So they're saying to rest. I have a black cat, and there's 3 black cats here, and they're going, cats can absorb energy. Animals can absorb energy. But again, give them time to go out and ground. Like if you have an indoor cat and you live in an apartment building, if you are working on stuff, or cat or dog, whatever, and you find that dog hovers around you and butts up to you quite closely during your time of exhaustion, they can be literally taking that energy helping you work back that energy field. Some of them are guided to do that. Some of it's part of their life path to help you along in that way. This is what I've been told about my cat. I have a little short of her in my YouTube thing there, but in my shorts. And I'll tell you, there's been times where I've had situations where I had to try and find to rehome her. It just won't. It won't go through. It won't go through. And they keep showing me her and the animal world. The animal kingdom also as well is evolving, and they help us. We help that. This all is, it's all a huge thing that we just kind of have no. If you think about it, it's just overwhelmingly beautiful, but we don't think about it in that way because of what's going on in the world today. Now, those animals, they're all helping her recharge. They're going to take away the one sitting on her. That's going to take away a lot of her energy and feedback. It's like that cat's giving Reiki to that little angel so that they can all, and then the one on the ground there by her foot, she's getting regrounded because she may already have done a session and now she's grounding to the earth to transmute the negative energy and bring back her, battery. And the other one's kind of in between. Then he's gonna do. And then there's birds flying. Like it's just there's a whole bunch of stuff coming through here. I can't even explain. I'll be here for 2 weeks. But a lot of you guys are going to be feeling exhausted. And it's going to be, time is going to pass inconsistently. You're going to feel things speeding up. You're going to feel things slowing down. And you're going to be like, whoa, that was all in 1 week. I had all that stuff happen. It's going to be like super high, super low, da. But again, we're not going as low as we used to, and we're going to keep coming out of that hole. Because the universe filling it, with a few more scoops so we can't get down to the bottom anymore. That well is not going to be a well no more. They're going to fill it until we can't, get underneath that anymore. Now, they're showing me that web and the spider in the corner. Again, beware of pitfalls here. And again, don't waste energy. Ooh, yeah, there's so many areas here we have to be aware of. And one of them is, if you are an energy worker, beware of who and what you're working on at this time. Don't waste your energy in areas. Preserve your strength, because you need to keep charge of your strength. At this time, there's going to be no understanding of this. And again, I don't feel energy switching till June, July. But again, I don't know if it's going to go in a good way. I don't know. I just stop there and then I wait till I get there. And then I redo that energy, right? Where are we going now? Oh, okay. Because you can only absorb so much. But you will need to find peace in nature. You will need to rest. You will need to relax. So if you're a go-getter and you don't know how to relax and you can't take a break and you're overwhelming your senses, you will be crashing and burning a lot over this time. But you won't have time to really invest in anything that's superficial. So let's explain that, shall we? Superficial healing. This is a new word for me that I just came up with this. They're talking about people that go, yeah, okay, the universe wants you to take a break, rest and relax your senses, recharge your battery so you're full, you're ready to go on Monday. You go. Superficial healing is, yeah, I'm going to take Friday off. I need a day. So they take Friday off. What do? They go shopping. They clean the house. They're doing absolutely nothing for themselves. Superficial healing. We cannot do this. When we say we're going to heal and rest, we heal and rest. When you're sick, you don't go and say, oh, I'll clean the kitchen and do my spring clean. You don't do that because you're truly sick. And the thing is, if we lose our battery too much or diffuse our battery, what's the word? Use up our battery too much without recharging properly, not in superficial form, we will not recover. We will just not really evolve correctly and efficiently here. It's not that we can't, but it just will not be efficient. It'll be very combustible. It will be more in the lower vibrancy frequencies than the higher, vibrancy frequencies. So we want to be on the upswing and up mood and everything. So in order to do that consistently, we need to take these little breaks. And again, that was in one of the readings here. Take a break and then recharge and then go outward in our power. And when we got to learn to realize when our battery's low sooner than when it powers down, right? As soon as we power down and we're like, for some people that's physical pain, physical exhaustion where you literally drop or faint. We don't go this far. We should warning signals before that. If we're conscious and aware, we know when we're getting stressed because we start to get lethargic. We start to get, passive aggressive. Like, okay, I don't want to do that. Blah, blah. We know. So we got to tune in a little quicker. Okay, I feel like I'm lecturing, so I don't want to go there. But this is in the future at day's end rest. There's going to be a lot of angelic frequencies coming down to, give me another word for possession, because that just brings us to the negative side. Blissed out. You get blissed out. Yeah, when we get blissed out, we are going to need a break. Because even though it's not of a lower frequency, it's still exhausting because it's so high energy. We're excited on the inside. Everything's vibrating at a higher rate. All your cells, everything in your body is moving at a higher rate. So once that energy form leaves us, we're going to feel it. And that's when we go down. And that's where we're going to need the rest. So take the rest. And I have learned the hard way. Because I used to have explosions. I just have these explosions and it's like boom. And it's like holy. And almost like you don't remember it. Like you black out. And it's like, no, you don't need to get that far. When you start draining your energy, take a break. Go to bed earlier in the day. Wake up later in the morning. Blah, blah, blah. And, and recharge that battery. Keep it on a higher charge. Don't, like my son would do this. I'm 5%, Mom. I can't text you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You should have your phone at 100%. You charge it all night instead of unplugging it and plugging it in or whatever you're doing. But he'll drain it right to the 5%, and then you get cut off a call, an important call, right? Or whatever. And it's like, oh man, what are you doing? Keep your battery on full charge as much as you can. It's emergency time. We're needing this. And again, use your discernment for those people who are in high frequency vibrations already, high frequency states. And I see a lot of evidence of this. Like, I'm closing my readings. I'm opening this is good because we need to take accountability of our energy, because if we are drained and we go outward and we drain some more, guess what? We can go backwards. We don't want to go backwards. We want to go forward. So I think most of us know that. So at the day's end, rest. Find peace in nature. Nature will help you. Animals can help you quite highly. But be aware that they also need to recharge. Yeah, back to my apartment building cat. Get them outside. They need to be in the grass. Cement doesn't do it. Cement will drain. If you put a battery on a cement, what does it do? It's gone. So you have to go in the earth, on the grass or in the dirt, literally in a driveway. If you're in a concrete jungle, you got to find a patch of grass somewhere where this animal can roll around in. And that's exactly the first thing they'll do is roll around, get that earth all over me so I can get all that stuff off. That's what they're doing, literally. So yeah. This is interesting with the animals. So animals play a big part. And if you have a lot of animals around you, absorb the energy. They can give you the love and the caring and all of that. Just absorb it. It's great and wonderful. Like cats are not very much huggers, but dogs, they love hugs, cuddles, all that stuff. It's just good. Okay. Whew, that was a little bit of a ride there. Sorry, I get going. Okay. Now we got the triangle. So I've got 2 cards from the that weird animal deck I have. And then I have the TLC card for the last, and I have a spiritual card from the House of Night. So the first animal cards kind of bring the vibration back up because it's heavy. But yet it's light. It's light coming in, really is what it is. You're going to get in bliss, because you're going to connect to your angelic realms. And then all they want you to do is purify yourself enough to allow that to happen so that we can live on the earth in this way and continue to evolve. Okay, the first card that we get, Page of Swords. Yeah, knowledge and wisdom and insights and information period coming at us. We are in and amongst informational fields, informational forms. We may be quite curious at this time, looking into researching things. Now, they're showing me that sword under her feet. Now, usually the sword, if it's upright, we're speaking. If it's down, we're not speaking. Here, it's kind of wishy-washy. It's kind of halfway in between. It's like, take in the knowledge, but we don't necessarily have to go outward in it. Just absorb it to the self, and there will come a time when its importance will be shown, is what they said. The importance will be shown when you need to utilize that. For some people, there's a lot of data collecting at this time. Universally, instinctively, this is what's happening. Data's coming in, and even though you may not even be aware of it, there will be a point where you will realize, oh, well, where did that come from? Where did all that information come from? Well, this is the time. And again, we may or may not be aware of it, but it's going on. Downloads happening. And when you evolve, that is what happens. You get a lot of energy. Yeah, one of these days I'll have to do a recording on the actual physical, mental, spiritual process that I go through. Because they tell me, okay, we're going to work, we're going to shoot you, we're going to do this, shoot you, meaning fill you with energy. So it's kind of like me going in to get a Reiki attunement or adjustment, but they do it from the higher realms. They do it perfectly, right? Not that it isn't perfect the other way. You can get... I'm not going to get into it. But they impulse the energy in, and then there's certain things that you go through, again, on the physical, mental, spiritual realm. So there'll be a time when I'll have to... I say all these things, but a lot of times the time doesn't come. So yeah, there may be a lot of information getting downloaded to our psyche, to our instinct, to our brain, to our wisdom, all of this. But again, we may not be speaking of it, which is fine. But when the time comes, we will be inspired to do so, and we will know, because it will be so much so that it's almost like, holy, where did that come from? You know, that kind of thing. So that's the Page of Swords, the hummingbird, right? And they flutter real fast, and they go and they drink sugar water because everything's going so fast, but you'd never hear them. You almost never see them. And, but they're there, they're buzzing around. And that's kind of like that spiritual energy it's there, it's buzzing around, but kind of don't see it, kind of not aware, but there's a lot of energy there. That's what I'm getting. So the next card that we get is Six of Swords. Yeah, I've got this once in another reading. There's such vibrant colors, right? The red and the teal and or pink, I guess it is. Yeah. Six of Swords is about leaving, right? She's got her suitcase there and the turtle's on the path. He's going to go, and she's just waiting for the bus or whatever's going to come through and take her a little faster than by foot. But the sense here is we're waiting on things to change. Now, this is interesting, yeah, because I was saying before, even though we're getting downloaded and there's a lot of energy, and it's so hard to put it in verbal format where it's not somehow, it can be taken the wrong way. Like, there's no way that I can say everything that won't be taken the wrong way, in a sense, because everybody's got a different perspective they're coming from. But for this Six of Swords, there's a sense of leaving the old world. And I got to watch how I say that, because a lot of stuff is tainted. But there is a sense of leaving the way that we used to do things. And that's solely on the physical plane. Leaving that, and, that's all the stuff that's in the suitcase, frankly, that we're sitting on. It's not like we abandon it. We're going to take it with us, all that we've learned there. But we're going to learn new things. Right, we got a nice teal dress that just sharp. We're going to go down that pink road, and everybody's going to see us coming. And We're going to learn as we go. We get over that hill, it's going to be a new world that we walk into. And the spirituality is that new world. Everything of instinct is that new world. All that is unseen is that new world. We have to take this into account in order to survive as we go forward. And if you don't know how to do it, you better ask people around you, because there's a few that know what's going on. Okay, so this is the 2 cards making the top of the triangle. So what's the one that we come out with? I was guided to put the House of Night card. That was the Hope card, 27. This is cool. This turned out to be a good reading. Hope. Yeah. Again, we can't lay all on hope. But if without it, we will get nowhere, because there's nothing to believe in. So, you know what? I'm going to leave it simply at that, because the more I talk, the more I can convolute the energies. So there's a sense of a lot of information being downloaded. The 6 of Swords, there's a new path that we're traveling on, and the hope that it's going to be better than where we're from. And if we can come from the highest point of our heart, going outwards toward others in our field that are of like mind. Again, I'm presuming everybody knows right from wrong here. But doing for your highest good and the good of others, we have hope that we will get through this. Okay, now I'm going to get the TLC card and shut her down, because I kind of babbled my way through here. The TLC card that we get here is called Carry On. Wow. A little river, stream, and flowers. Spring flowers, right? Keep following the course you've set for yourself. And if the divine wants to change your route, you will, of course, be given notice just when you need it, never in advance. And that's what I was getting to with the Page of Swords. You will get all that information, and it's like you won't know it's there until you really need to use it. And it's there. And this is, look at them nail it again. Same thing. When you need it. Never in advance. Make a plan, take a breath, and remind yourself, isn't it wonderful? Everything is out of my control. Yeah. But there's so many people, right? Trying to control things when they aren't in control. But anyway, okay. There is more happening here than what I can see. The cosmic plan is playing out right before my mind's eye. Listen as the exquisite beloved whispers, your efforts will be duly rewarded. Carry on pouring love into your innovations. So that really does sum it up. Just go outward in love and keep moving. Carry on, but keep going outward in love, and you will get far. You will get far. Carrying on. Yeah, and it was interesting, because today, actually, I'm recording this on a Saturday. I was inspired to put 3 Billy Joel songs. And one of them was it could be very triggering for people, is about people that kind of want to end their life. And they don't see the beauty that can be around the corner, because always after a struggle comes release and relief and better days. And, I've learned that myself, been in desperate situations where you're just like, what is the bloody point? And then the next day can turn out to be such a wonderful, beautiful day. So keep that in mind as you go forward. You know, there's a lot of dark stuff going on. Carry on as you will and as you can, because the days will slowly give in to the light. And as we do this, things will become brighter and whatnot. So hopefully I didn't confuse too many people with this reading the way that I did it. They just wanted me to kind of overview in the beginning what I was getting, because it's not like I just walk around, sit down, tap in and tap out. I used to do it that way, but now, again, it's more conjoined. So I check in, they check in, or I feel a sense of hovering, and I'll go, yeah, I feel good, or no, I don't. Whatever. Well, they know, but they want validation. And a lot of times they'll say, well, why do you ask me if you know? And they say, we want to know what your perception is of how you are doing. we perceive you as doing this, but sometimes you go off on tangents, which I do. And they're going, we want to check base that this is, and so that's kind of helped me with my son as well, because he can say, yeah, I'm good. But then the next moment, something could hit him, a wave of, and then he's not good, or the opposite. You think he's having a bad day, but he's actually flying high and good. I mean, not too high, but I mean, good, happy. This is all good, right? So keeping track of that. But nonetheless, the frequencies, as I bring back that bonus graphic, they're all over the place. Look at the edges of that bubble. It's all like, what do you call that? Like high, pokey, outy things. I came from a session. I can't even. Spikes of energy, right? Spikes up, spikes down. It's not in wave. It's not, it's not going to be like that. And again, they're giving me till July, till things change. How they're going to change, I'm not too sure. At this point, everything's in flux. But for now, just absorb the highs as you can, rest when you're in the lows, and make sure your battery is above half all the time. And that'll keep us in the light. If we go below half, we can be pulled back down by negative energies, right? That's really the fear here. If we go below, then, our structure starts to fall apart, that we have built up some resistance in. And I've noticed that myself. I let myself go too far. I let something in that I shouldn't have. And then, boom, I get pulled. And it's like, yep, I should have taken a break, or I should have been more attentive to my mindset. I was negative. I didn't realize, and it was pulling me. And the thing that most people don't understand is when you get in that lower frequency, and you may notice this with the caliber of friends that you have as well. If you have lower frequency friends and you're in a low frequency, they'll just gravitate. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? And then when you get back up on the high vibe, you don't hear from them. That's because you're not on the same wavelength. So when you go low, you attract those lower frequencies. Keep an eye on that. When you don't feel good, who are you hanging with? What's going on there? And when you feel high, who are you hanging with? And if you're not hanging with anybody, guess what? The universe is going to start flooding those people in. If they don't come in spiritual form, they'll start to come in physical form. Okay? And this is what's going on. And this is the changes and whatnot. And again, if you're in the higher realms, if you have someone trusted who does energy work, do that. If not, and you are trusting your guides and you are solid with your guides, go there. This is what I've done. And I've had good results. So that is the energy report for spring of 2024. Again, if you have any questions, whatever, I'll leave my email below. I'm going to start opening up for readings, healings, whatever. If you see a quiz, answer it. Don't take no time. Don't take no money. It's just free. And if you put that, vote in there, your energy will go in there. So anyway, I'm going to head out here. Take care, have fun, and be kind. And we will talk to you next month. So hang on. We're going up. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, have fun, and be kind.